Hello, in this video, we will discuss the point-slope form. The point-slope form. The point-slope form of linear equations is defined by the following formula. Y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. Okay? Now, m is the slope. While we have a point x1, y1, x1, y1, these are the coordinates, and this point lies along the line. Okay? So by the definition of the name, point slope, it means if you have a point and a slope, you can write the equation of any line. Okay? We will use this concept, especially this formula over here, to answer some example problems. Problem number 1. What is the equation of the line that passes through the point 6, negative 1 and is parallel to the equation or to the line y equals 1 half x plus 2? Okay, so let's copy the line that is parallel to our required line. We have y equals 1 half x plus 2. And it's very clear that this is in the slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. Therefore, the slope is 1 half. And since this line is parallel to our required line, therefore we can say that our slope required, or the slope of our required line, is also 1 half. Alright? Remember, the slopes of parallel lines are equal. And then we are given with a point. The point is 6, negative 1. So in essence, this is our m, this is x1, this is y1. And now all we have to do is substitute these values into our point slope formula. Let me copy. Y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. Substitute. Y minus y sub 1 is negative 1 equals m is 1 half, times x minus x sub 1 is 6. All right. And the problem also says that we have to transform our equation into slope-intercept form. In other words, we have to isolate the variable y. So let's do that. Negative times negative becomes positive. We have y plus 1 equals, and then distribute 1 half. 1 half times x is 1 half x. 1 half times negative 6 is negative 3. Transpose 1 to the other side and make it negative. Y equals 1 half x minus 3, and then minus 1. And finally, negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. So y equals 1 half x minus 4. And this is our answer. This is the equation of our required line. Next problem. Write the equation of the line that passes through the point negative 1, negative 5 and is perpendicular to the equation or to the line y equals negative 1/4 x plus 2. Okay, so let me copy first the given line. Y equals negative 1/4 x plus 2. And in slope-intercept form, this is the slope. Okay, you already know that. M is negative 1/4. However, our required line is said to be perpendicular to this. So as we remember, the product of the slopes of perpendicular lines is equal to negative 1. So let's say this is m1. Let's substitute negative 1/4 times m2. And let's say m2 is our required slope, or the slope of our required line, equals negative 1. And then let's solve for m2. And to solve for m2, let's multiply both sides by negative 4. Okay? multiply this by negative 4 and negative 4. So what will happen? This cancel. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. So on the left side, we're only left with M2. And then negative 1 times negative 4 is positive 4. So this is the slope of our required line. Okay? And also, the problem says that our required line passes through the point negative 1, negative 5. And it also means that this is x1, this is y1. We already have the slope m, x1, y1. We're ready to solve or to find the equation of the line. Copying the point slope form, y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. Substitute. Y minus y sub 1 is negative 5 equals m is 4 times x minus x sub 1 is negative 1. Okay? And again, we have to write this line in slope-intercept form. Negative times negative, also this one. Negative times negative. So we have y plus 5 equals 4 times x plus 1. Next, y plus 5 is equal to, distribute 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 1 is positive 4. And then transpose positive 5 to the other side, make it negative. Y equals 4x plus 4 minus 5. And 4 minus 5 is negative 1. So we have y equals 4x minus 1. And this is the equation of our required line. This is the answer. Next problem. Write the equation of the line that passes through the point 5, 4 and has a slope of negative 3. Okay, so let's copy the point slope form. Y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. We're given with a slope of negative 3. M is equal to negative 3 and a point 5, 4. And as we know, this is x1, this is y1. And we're ready to substitute these values in our point slope formula. So we have y minus y sub 1 is 4 equals the slope m, negative 3, times x minus x sub 1. Okay. So minus x sub 1 is 5. Next, y minus 4 equals, distribute negative 3 times x is negative 3x, while negative 3 times negative 5 is positive 15. Transpose negative 4 on the other side and make it positive. So we have y equals negative 3x plus 15 plus 4. And finally, 15 plus 4 is 19. Y equals negative 3x plus 19. Again, we want the solution to be in slope-intercept form as suggested in the instruction. So we isolate the variable y. Next problem, write the equation of the line that passes through the points 5, negative 2 and 2, 10. Okay, let me copy the given points where the line passes through. We have 5, negative 2, and we have 2, 10. So this time it's a bit different. Instead of a point and a slope, we're given with 2 points. But it doesn't matter because we can definitely solve for the slope because we're given with 2 points, right? So let's say this is point 1, this is point 2. It means this is x1, y1, this is x2, y2. And recall the formula for the slope. M is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 divided by x2 minus x1. And then we have to substitute. Y2 is equal to 10 minus y1, which is negative 2, divided by x2, which is 2, minus x1, that is 5. So negative times negative becomes positive. So we have 10 plus 2 over 2 minus 5 is negative 3. 10 plus 2 is 12. So 12 divided by negative 3. Therefore, the slope of this line is 12 divided by negative 3, which is negative 4. Okay? So now, we have the slope m, negative 4. And we can now solve for the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. Okay? So let me copy the point-slope form. Y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. All right. We already know the slope m, which is negative 4. How about x1, y1? Well, you can select any of these points. Okay? Excuse me. You can use this or you can use this. So if we're going to use this becomes x1, y1. It doesn't matter because x1, y1 here only refers to a single point along the line. Okay? We have x2, y2 here because we're solving for the slope earlier. But now if we're going to use this point, this will be x1, y1 also. Okay? So let's say we will use that point. Okay. So this is separate. This is the slope, and let's say we have 2 and 10. x1, y1. And let us substitute now. Y minus y sub 1 is 10 equals m, the slope is negative 4, times x minus x sub 1 is 2. Let's copy y minus 10. And then negative 4 times x, that's negative 4x, while negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8. Transpose negative 10 to the other side. We have y equals negative 4x plus 8 and then plus 10. And 8 plus 10 is 18. Therefore, we have y equals negative 4x plus 18. And this is the answer.